next one. Before then, if you're enjoying this conversation, if you've just stopped by and enjoying this conversation, vote. Don't worry, we got a lot more of that for you, right? A lot more of that coming your way. Hit that follow button. You haven't done so yet. Hit that follow button right now. Make sure notifications are on because I do 6 nights a week. Don't want you to miss out on that. Exclamation point social and chat. For our social media, hit us up on Twitter, where we tweet things out. Oh, I forgot to tweet today. I actually didn't feel like it. And we had, I'm usually better at that. We have Discord. We have all these conversations, right? So come to Discord, heart and soul of the community. I want you to be a part of that online, offline conversations. It's great. YouTube's where you find the VODs, right? Like, comment, subscribe, and consider becoming a YouTube member. Hitting that join button. That's actually very important. And supporting that community there. Like if you enjoy having those YouTube VODs up and running, right? If you like having that, then help us out by becoming a YouTube member. Okay. So, excuse me. We'll go on to the next topic. I wanted to have our Kanye West super fan here for this one, but unfortunately couldn't make it. It really sucks.
It's the Kanye West super fan.
That would be GSU Gambit. That would be GSU Gambit. He'll defend him for fucking anything.
Of course.
It's the same. But yeah, there's stuff to do. So Kanye West has a new 3-part documentary out about his life. West has been called lots of things, including a genius. But West has also been extremely volatile and made very poor choices in his personal life. Does a man like him deserve the praise that he receives? Will he be remembered as a trailblazer or just another celebrity who fell to the dangers of fame? Should anyone in the Black community look up to him? So yeah, there's that. There's a 3-part biopic on Netflix, I believe it is. And only the first part's out now. I haven't actually seen it, and that's not like the focus, right? The focus isn't necessarily on what may or may not have been said in that documentary. It's on Kanye West himself, and does he deserve like the endless praise that he gets, right? He's a musician of some skill, but should we call him a genius? And if we do think we should call him a genius, like what does that change the way how we should interact with him? Okay, so we'll do opening statements. Start with Wiggle, please.
Yeah, of course he's a trailblazer. Like that's Kanye fucking West. Everybody in this country knows who Kanye West is, even if they don't listen to rap music. They know his name. That's like a byproduct of being like a trailblazer, like somebody that like gains praise in some way like that. Does he deserve it? I think, of course, yeah. Like this guy is like he's changed the industry for like sneakers, like rap music in general. Like the guy's like the guy's an icon. Just him right now, his personal life is giving everybody content. Like people come on Twitch or at least in this political space for content. And Kanye just doing what he does is giving everybody something. He's creating the American culture for you by just breathing and living his life. Like he's an exciting person. Kanye's just inherently exciting. Not everybody's built like that. Like Kanye is a kind of weird dude. Like if you watch his interviews and you hear him talk, he seems to have some sort of social predicament that he's lived with, I imagine, most of his life. Yet he seems to be like the most social person you can imagine. He's definitely fighting through that and getting to a point where like everybody hears what he has to say. This is a guy that woke up one day and said, I want the whole world to know what I think and I want to leave an imprint on the whole world. And every single day he's doing it. And every single day he's doing it. So that, like, of course, like, should we look up to him? Yeah, definitely. Like, but I think it depends on like what field you're in. If you're in music, maybe like production, you look up to him in a different way than if you're like let's say into fashion, or if you're into just being if you're a publicist, you could probably learn a lot from just how like Kanye West operates. So I think like you could if you look up to him, I think it depends in different ways. Is he a genius? Clearly. Like clearly he's a genius in some capacity. Maybe he's not a genius when it comes to mathematics or something, but he's definitely some form of genius because what else do we call people that are this unique? What else do we call them? Like whatever it is, he's that, you know? That's it.
Okay. All right. Jay.
I surprisingly agree with Wiggle quite a bit. I did watch the documentary when it was at the festivals, and I thought there was going to be more to it, and it turns out there is. I only watched the first part, like everyone else, is what I'm saying. But I think in watching it, like, you kind of understand how he became the person that he is. Because it's just weird to see that level of confidence in someone when all they've done is produce music. Like, no one's letting them rap, no one's letting them do anything, and I don't know, it was very inspiring in my opinion. But I don't know if he'll be remembered as a trailblazer or someone who went cuckoo, right? I think if you look at celebrities who have died and like had a lot of turmoil in their career, like the Elvises, the Michael Jacksons of the world, like, I think their legacy is kind of just fine. I feel like, he'll probably be remembered as a trailblazer in music, maybe fashion a little bit. I do think he has done a lot, but he's done a lot more than other rappers, but I don't think that's what he'll be remembered for. And I generally, as a rule of thumb, I don't think people should look up to celebrities, so I don't think that the Black community is someone that we should look up to.
Thank you. Bam?
I'm a super big Kanye fan. I wouldn't say I'm the super fan, but he's probably my second favorite artist / producer of all time.
Who's your first?
Outkast.
All right. I think you told me.
But yeah, like overall, like as far as is Kanye West a genius? When it comes to music, yes, absolutely. When it comes to marketing, yes, absolutely. The man has he has a feel for things in ways that other people just don't understand. That's the word for it. That's the only word it can be for it. He does have like high levels of social anxiety. He doesn't talk to people really well. Like he comes like some people from the stage and the performances, we think like he's super outgoing and super, but that's not who he is. From everyone who knows him, he like even to this day apparently he talks with his head down and he says like, I want to do the music thing, like, and that's
The voice
who
is
he
so
is.
good.
But is he someone to be looked up to? Like the two people before me just said, like it depends on the area. I think that Kanye like does backflips on that line of genius and insanity. Like his political takes are ridiculous. His social expectations in general are pretty abhorrent, and it's kind of like crazy how far he's fallen, at least in my view, from like a really strong fan of like how much respect I've lost for him. But yeah, no, I don't think the Black community should necessarily look up to him, even though he is the richest Black person in America.
I don't think he is the richest.
Yes,
Isn't
not the
Oprah?
richest.
Isn't
He's
Oprah
richer
more
than
rich than him?
There's
No,
Dr. Dre,
my-
and then there's
No.
Yeah,
It's
that was
Kanye.
Dr.
I don't.
Dre.
I don't know.
It's
I don't.
Kanye.
think
Jay-Z's
it-
got to be richer than him.
no, dude. He's not a
Kanye
billionaire.
bought Spotify. He's Kanye's worth $7 billion now. Yes,
$7 billion?
He bought Spotify.
Oh,
Yes, he's the
excuse me.
richest Black
If
person in
he
America.
work, maybe I'm incorrect. Okay, let's go to Azzy. I'll look that up. Maybe I'm completely incorrect.
Pretty sure it's Robert F. Smith.
Nope, he's richer.
It's like by 0.2 billion, and it fluctuates.
It's 1.8 according to Google. Billion with a B.
I feel like Dr. Dre's got to be like.
So Robert F. Smith is richer. Robert F.
No,
Smith is
Kanye's
6.8.
worth like 7.
It fluctuates.
Give us a source on that one. But let's go to Azzy while we wait. Opening statements.
Yeah, Kanye is a genius. He just engages way too openly and in the social atmosphere. He does it on purpose though. It's how he articulates his genius. It's how he cultivates his genius. Though he gets himself in a lot more controversy than need be. I feel like if he just my earpiece is about to die. I feel like if he just stayed back, moved around like Jay-Z or Kendrick, he would be an individual that people revered a lot more. But that's the That's a bravado, man. That's the best part of Kanye is the fact that he's not afraid to do that. You know, he's not afraid to be annoying. You know, he's not afraid to be obnoxious. He's not afraid to be wrong. You know, but it's the fact that he has an overwhelmingly confident tone. He does not like I tell people this all the time. You cannot give me any advice. I quote Kanye all the time when people who are less than try to give advice. I love that. Kanye is a, like Wiggle said, and it's not surprising that we agree. Kanye is a trailblazer, and he's a trailblazer because he's trying to be a trailblazer. You know, unfortunately, I would say the same for Jay-Z, but Jay-Z, I don't think Jay-Z is a trailblazer at the scale of Kanye.
Okay. Thank you. Monty, excuse me.
Okay, y'all are about to eat me, but that's fine.
Pause.
I'm not. Shut up. I'm not huge into like rap music, and I don't really listen to.
Clearly,
I don't
you're
listen.
about
I
to
don't
say
listen
something.
to. I don't listen to Kanye, but I have seen like the news that is like surrounded the guy. I think he. I think
The
he
guy.
for one, I think he. Yes, the guy. I don't really care much for Kanye, but I do think he needs to. I think he needs to seek help for like what's going on. Like maybe he needs to seek a therapist for like the fact that he's like really sad that like he's not with Kim anymore. And like, yeah, I understand, right? Like he had kids with her, like, and they had a life and shit. And now like that's kind of gone, or at least like it's not the same as it used to be. Um, do I think he's a trailblazer? Well, okay. Let me say something, and this is probably gonna get me just axed. You know who else was a trailblazer? The goddamn founding fathers. So I don't really care if you guys think like he's this trailblazer. I'm looking at like the shit that he says now. A lot of his political takes, like Pete Davidson put it perfectly. You know how wrong you have to be about politics for him to care, for him to notice? Like, are we like miraculously everybody forgets like how he, or I guess you guys just don't care maybe, how he openly supported and backed Donald fucking Trump. Nah, fuck the dude. I don't care. I do think he should get help though. I think he is mentally unwell. I would like to see him get mentally well.
Because he supported Donald Trump? What?
Yeah,
You
keep
have
going.
to be
Keep
you have to
going.
be batshit insane to support that guy, okay? Just I'm sorry. You gotta be batshit insane to support Donald Trump. I don't care if people come at me for that. I'm taking that one in my grave. Like, you gotta be batshit crazy to support the dude. For him to, openly say shit about like just blatantly wrong things about like politics and like slavery and like the shit that black people have gone through and experienced in America, I could care less about like Kanye, really. Just the guy needs help, and that's where I'm gonna leave it.
STV Philly.
Your mic.
We can't hear you.
Apologize about that. Yeah, I believe
Hey.
Kanye West is a genius. I think that he is arguably he's arguably the most influential or the most he's definitely the most popular rapper of the last 10 years, I'd say, with him and Drake. But when it comes to like overall history, how he's going to be remembered, how he's going to go down, just the cultural, just the whirlwind around him every time he does anything, whether it be just stating that he's going to venture into architecture. I remember that like dominated the news cycle about 5-6 years ago. The thing with George Bush, George Bush doesn't care about black people. And then the comments he made a few years ago about black people wanting to be slaves, or they must have chosen to be slaves. Coming from normal people, this stuff wouldn't have made the news. But just coming from Kanye West, just the amount of attention this man gets is it's unlike anybody of our time. I'm just going to list off a few names of people that have something in common with Kanye West. Ludwig Beethoven, Michelangelo, Charles Dickens, Charles Darwin, Winston Churchill, and you can't forget Isaac Newton. All of these people are geniuses, or are considered geniuses with severe mental disorders. I've been looking at studies and papers, and we can get into this more when we open it up. But a lot of medical publications have been finding the association between geniuses and major mental disorders. They've been finding more and more evidence over the years when they look into this. So maybe that's something we can talk about during the main.
Open to the panel.
Like Kanye had people out here dressing like they was in Walking Dead, and I was people. It was me. I'm niggas, because I was like, I was out here. Like I remember when I first seen it, whenever it was in like the brown. Everybody remembers the showcase. I was like, this is weird. Everybody looks homeless. Like why? Like nobody's gonna pay for this. And then I didn't pay for that, but I bought all the like knockoff. My jeans was ripped. My shirt had rips across just like I fought a bear. Like, and I thought, and it was so cool. And then like a couple years go by, you realize like that was kind of dumb. But Kanye made it hard. Kanye made it just cool. And like, so that's like when people try to like downplay his like stuff to the fashion game. Like, I mean, he changed the way that like not just his company, but the way that like fashion was for maybe a 2-3 year period. It was based around how Kanye, and kind of still is when you look at like the ugly dad shoe trend that I haven't got on yet. I still think that's weird, but people are doing it because of Kanye.
All right, so a big problem that I have with the Black community is how we, for some really, well, I say for some really weird reason, but I understand, and it's understandable that like we idolize our celebrities because oftentimes, and due to like the hardships that we've experienced in America, there aren't too many famous people, or there used to not be too many famous people that look like us. So we kind of like latch on to these Black celebrities, with the exception of people like Candace Owens and some other people. We latch on to like these Black celebrities, and we gas these people up and are like, yo, this dude is like the greatest ever. But then like it kind of hurts us, because then we give these people like Kanye, like Nicki Minaj and other people platforms, and then they just come out with like some of the dumbest shit, like some of the dumbest political takes like ever, and then it negatively negatively impacts.
I'm sorry.
It
I don't think
negatively
you can say
impacts
that.
like
that,
the
like,
Black
I don't-
community.
Let him finish.
Well, no,
let him
I'm
finish.
not attacking Bam. I'm not attacking Bam. I'm just
So
saying
it's like,
this,
how can you
this
say
is
this
something
if
that
you
I
don't
feel.
listen to Kanye? Like political,
Well,
his
no, but I'm
political
saying-
takes is that he supported
I'm saying-
Donald Trump. Like,
I'm saying, yeah. Do you not see how much of a problem that is?
yeah, I can see, but he also ran against him, didn't he? Like he also ran.
Yeah, dude. But let's be honest here. He was just trying to draw votes away from the other person, the other person being Biden, because we all know
Kanye wanted
only
to be
people-
president.
He
Kanye
wanted.
probably
wanted
did
to be
want to be
president. This was a
You know what?
plan in
Okay,
the making.
maybe
He literally got on a
maybe he
stage
wanted-
years
maybe
before
he-
and said,
Okay, maybe he wanted to be president. I also think that's batshit crazy. If you actually think that Kanye can fucking run a country, like, you are insane. If you think that Kanye would have made like a great president, you are an insane person. Like,
It's
anybody.
wild
anybody-
to me. It's like,
Anybody-
how do you not listen to
I don't
his
think anybody-
discography, and then you're telling us about his political takes from what you see in what pop news? Like you see like the
What
clips
do you-
that people show. Like what?
I
Like
don't
like
think you have to
what?
know
Wait,
everything.
So what's your counter argument, Wiggle? What's your counter argument?
My
The fact that
counter
I don't-
argument is
Hey, hold
that
on.
you're
No,
making
go
a
ahead, Will.
judgment. Is that you're making a judgment on this person's entire being based on a period of time in which he's explicitly stated that he was on like some form of like loss of medication, on medication, coming to with the idea that he had like some form of addiction or what have you. He was open about it to the outside space. That's why you know about it. And then you're taking this framing from this set period of time and framing this man who's like probably over 40 his entire life.
Was that when he was like backing Trump, and what else was it, running for president? Was that
Yes,
like that time
but
of his
that
life?
time, yes. Like Kanye West has been political since like he started. Like if you look at his first like albums, they were based off of like mixtapes that he made, like Second Semester, etc., talking about like an experience that was largely relatable to everyone in America, which is like going to college, not knowing if it's for him, not knowing about college, whether it's right or wrong. He talked about the relationships that black people had in the home. He had a song about like family business, etc. He talked about like what Azzy was talking about, of the idea of people telling him things and him thinking like, no, he has to go his own way. Yeah, can't tell me nothing, etc. He had a
I mean,
song,
that's
Jesus.
cool. That
That's,
all that
but
stuff,
those
all
are
that stuff is
all
cool.
like
And it's like
deeply
relatable, yeah.
political type statements that mean
Right,
things.
but like,
So like,
No, but
sorry.
Eli, well, correct me if I'm wrong. I might be misremembering this, but it seemed like around that whole time, his sole reason for, or the main driving factor in him showing support for Donald Trump. I wouldn't even go as far as to say he did support him, but at least feigning or faking support for him was to get Larry Hoover a pardon or what's a commutation from the president. Does anybody remember that long sit down in the Oval Office he had, and like he was in there for about 15-20 minutes, and he spent about 10 of those minutes talking about getting Larry Hoover free from prison. Am I misremembering that? Does
No,
anybody
you're
not.
talking about
It's in
when it
his
was supposed
out.
to be him and Kaepernick was supposed to go. That was like
Yeah,
it was like
you're not misremembering. Like he also like he had it in he even included it in his album. His last album, I think
Okay,
there was a portion of
alright.
his album which was "Hearing from the
So
Sun."
Monty's biased.
Yeah, I am biased.
Well, I mean, he
Guess
only
I
We
did
all
it
didn't.
for
are.
years.
We all are. Like, what's the?
I don't blame him,
Well,
because to the casual viewer, it did seem like he was supporting Trump, but I think he had a whole angle on that. And yeah,
For me, it's the idea of like taking someone's entire like a life and judging it by like a period of time, like, and saying like this is this person now. Like
I mean, you know,
you're product of the
impressions.
same, you're product of like the same people that would probably view like Britney Spears a certain way, like Lindsay Lohan a certain way. They could be completely different people today, but because there is a certain framing in the media at a certain time in their life, that's who they are now. That's who they'll
I mean,
always be.
me personally, I don't really like pay much attention to celebrities. I only know like certain things, so I really don't care. But like I said, I do think the guy does need to go ahead and get help, and I hope he does.
yeah. And to
Like
Eli and,
sorry,
and,
go
and but to both of you guys' point, should we be idolizing them or putting them on a pedestal to where like they don't get held accountable for a lot of things in the same way that if we didn't listen to, he wasn't our favorite artist or whatever, that he would be getting a lot of pushback for his behavior.
I think
especially
he gets
blasphemy.
Listen, you're either
more than enough like criticism from individuals like Eli Monty. Like I think he gets more than enough criticism his entire career. Like when he went on stage with to interrupt like the acceptance speech
Taylor
that
Swift,
yeah, like at that point in time, for a large amount of people in white America at that time, they viewed him as like this guy is ridiculous. They didn't see him as the guy that made like what was the song that with Daft Punk at the time that was blowing up. They didn't see him as that. They didn't
Stronger,
see him the
better,
guys who
faster.
dropped. Yeah, they didn't see him as the guy that
Stronger.
dropped Stronger or Graduation. They saw him as like this belligerent drunk that's interrupting Taylor Swift. That's what he was known for, a meme. But at the time in for hip hop listeners, this guy was one of the biggest artists of our time, and like he was criticized heavily. That framed a whole thought process behind him when he went there and he went off script right next to what was it, the Michael Miller, whatever, I can't remember his name, the guy from Shrek.
Mike Myers.
Mike
Yeah.
Myers.
Mike Myers, like when he interrupted him, I went off script and talked about like Hurricane Katrina, and he said like George Bush doesn't care about black people, etc. That's the framing that like America had for him, not maybe necessarily hip hop listeners, but America. And he was criticized. He's always criticized. Everything he does is criticized. And like even when he went on his like giant rant, when he went to like what TMZ and he did that rant, Kanye himself in that experience like congratulated the guy that like insulted him back. In the video, he's like, "Oh yeah, and he talks about it. He's like, "Yeah, that guy, kudos to him for saying that, etc." But that's not the story. The story is that Kanye West is an idiot for what he did. Kanye West, like, there's countless videos of Kanye West, like, speaking to paparazzi and being the most reasonable man ever. Being like, listen, man, like, I'm just trying to get to my car. Like, listen, like, what do you want? Like, I'll help you. And, like, that's not what you say. You see
Can you really come back from a take like, black people wanted to be slaves? Like, in my opinion, I don't.
That's not what he said. I think I still disagree with what he said, but that's like a really bad framing.
Well,
what he said.
Like the general thing.
But it's like, there's context. That's the thing, is that there's context. This is after he made a song, New Slaves. This is after he's described his ideology about black people in America. This is after he did his interviews talking about how he believes black people don't have like a rich upper class that can help them. He was talking about how there's Jay-Z out there, but he wants to be like that. He wants to be like those rich family, like the Bush family, etc. He wants to start a family that can start funding people like Will Smith and Jada do. Like he was talking about deep, intense discussions that people are having in the black community. And he made the song New Slaves. Later on, he talks about this idea. People who don't listen to his music, don't listen to his takes, take that experience and then frame him that way. And it's ridiculous to me because it's like, it's coming from TMZ. Like, you believe TMZ and giving you the full context or understanding. And it's crazy.
In context. I think you're going too far. There's an in between. There's a truth that even Kanye West doesn't have an ideology. Kanye West does have
doesn't have an ideology.
I'm a big Kanye West fan. Kanye West doesn't have an ideology. Kanye West does need medical help, and the people closest to him do say that Kanye West, even in the times we see him at the greatest moments we have for him, George Bush doesn't care about black people. That was a time he wasn't correctly on his meds. Even though we saw it as iconic.
Well, why would you view that as his greatest?
Oh my goodness, this is so egregious.
But I'm saying a lot of people. I'm saying that we do. There is a reality that because we hold him as a genius and we say he thinks differently as us. That's true. But we also because of that, he's also coddled, and there is some reality to the fact that we.
By who? He's one of the.
You're saying there's no level of accountability.
He's one of the most.
You just went on a 10-minute rant defending everything you said ever done.
Because I'm a fan and
exactly that's what I'm saying.
But
you're a fan doesn't mean
you understand there's more people that are like Monty than there's people like Wiggle on the issue of Kanye West. There's more people that don't listen to him.
I'm saying neither of these correct.
But I'm not a super fan, and I can still
understand.
understand.
You have to be a super fan.
I don't think it's easy to just reduce Kanye to a mental case and that he needs meds and he's not held accountable.
But he does. That's also true.
What conversation can you have about Kanye?
If I'm incorrect, I feel like he already gets meds. He takes medication already. He is medicated
always.
half the
he
time.
He goes off his meds all the time.
Yeah,
a lot of people go off their meds.
I'm saying he talks about it.
And some of them,
that doesn't reduce that doesn't reduce their impact or the power of what they're saying.
I don't get this. For me, it's you can't get in a conversation about Kanye West without talking about his mistakes. So how is he not criticized?
But I'm saying that you're defending.
He's one of the most criticized artists in America.
Yes, and you think people are wrong for those critiques. I'm saying.
No. I think that
you're saying that people like Monty.
I think he's wrong.
Wait a minute, you don't even know what I'm saying, bro. Just wait a second. Yeah. You're saying that people like Monty, I don't necessarily think Monty understands the full context, but you are on the other end of the spectrum where everything Kanye did is planned out and orchestrated.
It's a person who has listened to the entirety of the context of what Kanye has put out into the atmosphere.
Yeah,
versus somebody like Monty who's only listened to snippets or single moments.
Just because you know everything doesn't mean that Kanye does everything with strategy.
I'm not. No, it's it's. Hold on, man. All right, no. You go, Azzy. You go.
The slave thing wasn't the slave thing wasn't based on New Slaves in the album. That was Kanye going on a rant.
It's not that it's based. It's that these are his ideas about slavery in America.
Really though, that's what I'm saying. They're not Kanye West doesn't have a developed ideology when it comes to these things.
You think that their viewpoint of people with mental illness is ridiculous. That
No.
like it's that like he made this orchestrated album, and then those songs, they're like, you know, he didn't really think about them. He was just on that shit, and then like
Kanye
after he
doesn't
comes
think
out of
about
that, like
Kanye West doesn't think about politics. Like he loved black people, but Kanye West isn't like politically engaged. Kanye West
He doesn't
doesn't
have to be an
he-
intellectual.
but I'm saying he does. That's what I'm saying. But that's what we're holding to. We're saying that like no, these are well thought out positions. No, Kanye would just feels the type of way, and he says things that they're based on how he feels. They're just feelings. They're not rooted in any like deep ideology that we're trying to hold.
I
For
would
me-
say, I would say no. He does. He is just poorly articulating what he's saying in the moment.
There is no correct
Kanye
point.
is not. Kanye is not a great speaker. He is not a orator. Like orator. Or he does not speak well enough to communicate his ideas in the moment. If you give him time to develop it, like most people here, like I would see, like I feel like a lot of us like try to beat upon Kanye because he sounds crazy. Yeah, he sounds crazy, but his ideas are highly developed.
That's
Yeah,
what
I
I'm
feel
saying.
like
That's not true. That's the problem.
no,
They're not
that's
highly developed.
you would have
You
to
just think
prove
he's a
that you would-
genius, so you believe everything
No,
he
we
does
don't
is
think
no,
stems from genius.
why are you
Oh,
strawmanning
God.
it? Why are you
Because he's
strawmanning
saying,
it?
because
Like,
he's saying that
crazy
they're
shit.
highly developed
Oh
thoughts. I'm
my
saying that they're
God,
not.
like, here's the
That's what
thing.
I'm challenging.
Here's the
If
thing.
you-
Just
if you
because
can-
you have highly
because-
developed thoughts doesn't make you a genius, man. So
But
like,
I'm saying that
he
Kanye
says-
West, his thoughts aren't highly developed. That like he just.
So
says
then
stuff.
you're taking what I'm saying. You're taking when I say highly developed, and you're thinking like I'm talking about like a PhD paper
No, I'm
to,
not even
to
talking about from
graduate.
school.
I'm not
I'm saying
talking
that
about
Kanye West is, like,
he's
really thought,
he's done his
sat down and thought about
necessary
these
research and peer reviewed. I'm not talking about well developed in that aspect. I'm saying that
Be
he
well
is
thought out.
he is well thought out, and he has an experienced opinion. He has thought about this for a long period of time, and then when he says it, it comes out very emphatic.
He hasn't
It's
thought
not
about
just-
it for a long time.
like that's
well,
it-
well,
it-
then-
Kanye wants
it's
to be
them-
Steve Jobs, Walt
no.
Disney. He just wants big. He's a surface level thinker.
surface
and
level,
definitely music.
surface level.
Yes,
Like-
Kanye is a surface level. I love Kanye, but like I said, you can't go this hard
No,
for him.
like,
who is out
you
here
riding
saying
in like a rodeo.
This is the
I
thing
don't
is
think-
like
I don't
the
think
position-
surface level.
the
I don't-
the position I'm in is just literally like, yeah, I think you can critique Kanye. He's extremely easy to critique. I don't like it when people critique him and they don't know why. They're going with a major narrative. So it's like the way of like, if I
You
say
don't know what you're talking
fuck
about.
Biden and someone says fuck Biden, and I'm saying it because of all these things that I experienced because I wanted this man to achieve something, versus someone who's just like, he's saying it, fuck Biden. That sounds cool. Like
that
that's
person is
what I'm
Kanye.
saying.
He's saying
Yes.
it. I'm gonna say it because
Yes.
it sounds cool. That's
Yeah.
who Kanye is. He's
It's,
that guy.
no,
That's not
That's
true
what
all
it
the
is.
That's not true all the time, and that's a very
Jay-Z
shallow.
is a far more, like,
That's a very
politically,
shallow
like-
opinion,
Wait,
Bam.
wait,
for
wait,
somebody
wait,
who is
wait,
dressed-
wait.
So then
Far
why were you
more?
dressing? Why were
So,
you dressing?
why are you
Yes.
doing this? Yeah, but why are you doing that? Why are you pitting these two black men against each other to prove
What's
a
the
point?
point?
Because it was a fight to the death in political intellectuality. Like Jay-Z
This
knows
is
what he believes in.
so-
Jay-Z is like a high-strung black capitalist. Like, and
Okay.
Kanye to a lesser degree.
I hate
And
when
that's-
Jay-Z talk. I wish Jay-Z would never speak at all. Anytime Jay-Z speaks, I feel less intelligent. Listen to Jay-Z.
I support
It's
both
something-
Jay-Z and Kanye West. I think
I love them to death, but Jay-Z should never open up
Oh
his
my
mouth.
God.
When I saw him do his
God.
interview on
Why do you think
CNN,
every time?
what in the
Hold on,
world?
we don't have to go in
This is a
deep into
terrible-
Jay-Z. But I'm just saying, why do you think every time Kanye falls off the wagon, why do you think like he already has like there's like 10 black celebrities have to come to his house and like while everybody else is think Kanye's being a genius and like talk him off the edge of a cliff because Kanye doesn't know what the F is going on and where he's at in the world.
Kanye is a
And he
co-
comes out and he admits as much. He was
Didn't
like, "Oh yeah,
Kanye
I don't know what
graduate
I
from
was doing right
college?
there.
He
Honestly,
has
I'm
a-
not okay."
Can you not
Didn't
admit
Ka-
to
isn't
your
Kanye a-
mistakes?
This
But
is
I'm saying,
crazy.
but people aren't allowing them to be mistakes. We're saying
How
that like no,
so?
Kanye he would truly meant that. He was
I
like
thought
that. That's what I'm
Wiggle
saying.
did
How
say that.
so? Like, I'm not saying like I'm not sitting here saying like this is all a grand plan. Like Kanye planned this out from the beginning. That's a straw man of a straw man. I said that there's viewpoints that he holds that yeah they're well thought out from his perspective. Yes, I don't think everything he does is calculated. No, but I think like it's hard to say that to a guy that like created a music label with some of like the biggest names in it, is still working with those groups of people. They're all really successful. They still are in his songs. He lives in a very specific place for specific reasons. Like his family is one of the most like well, I guess it's kind of like his extended family now. His extended family is like one of the most like famous families in America, celeb families in America, and like all these things you're saying are like a period of just like, they're not. Well, I won't strawman you like you did me. I'd say like you're saying that these things are not thought out. They just like why? Like I think those parts are thought out. I don't think everything he does are thought out. I believe like the guy thinks through things. When he makes his album, it's thought out. When he chooses the people he's gonna be with, it's thought out. Like when he has his children, when he has his music label, it's thought out. When he works with people on his songs, when he writes his lyrics, it's thought out.
Northwest, like, okay.
And you know, you'll never forget that name ever. You'll never forget his daughter.
I'm gonna laugh every time.
Okay, well, it's not like his Elon Musk xenomorph, name his
I'm
child.
laughing at that too. I'm laughing at.
You don't even know the name of Elon Musk's kid, but you know Kanye West's daughter's name.
Exactly.
Because we can't pronounce Elon Musk. We can't pronounce Elon Musk's child's name. I can pronounce Northwest just fine. I see it on a compass. I see Northwest on a compass.
I feel like it's so uncharitable. It's not like we're talking about police brutality and we're being uncharitable to the police. We're talking about Kanye West, who is like has a whole like repertoire, a whole resume of things that we can look and analyze and try to tie things together and try to piece what he's trying to put out into media, into the conversation, what the conversation he's trying to have. You can do that much and try to at least say, okay, I get it. It sounds crazy because it does. It sounds terrible. Like it sounds like it was like an interview that DC Young Fly. I was just listening to like DC Young Fly and Jesse Lee Peterson. DC Young Fly sounds. You wouldn't say he sounds too like amazing, but at least people were sitting down and understand what he's trying to say. And he sounds just like Kanye. He sounds just like Kanye. Like. Yo, man,
if you believe that Kanye has an ideology, like if you look at like,
so what do you mean by ideology?
What do you mean?
Why do you think we?
I don't think he's like a Marxist Leninist or some shit.
Like,
I'm just saying.
You won't know what I'm saying because I'm trying to tell you. I'm like, why do you think there's an entire framework that even Kanye acknowledges that there's old Kanye and new Kanye? Everybody who's a Kanye fan
there's evolution of people.
Knows the lyrics. And when he gets on, what's he gonna do?
People don't change.
I'm saying like it's a lyric. And when he gets on,
people don't change.
It's gonna leave your ass for white girl. All right, yeah, sure.
Boom.
Yeah.
That was
people don't change.
That was who. If that was who Kanye started out as, that was what Kanye thought he wanted to be. He was supposed to be a representative for the black community. Now Kanye West is. And his I truly believe he thinks he's bigger than the black community. Now
Wait, what? That's a crazy statement.
I can agree with that.
No, you can't even say that.
Didn't the guy literally say he was gonna like save the world or some shit? Or am I?
Or
is that another thing that I misheard?
Wait. But when did he stop caring about the black community? Tell me that.
It's not
when he supported Trump?
No. It's not saying that he doesn't care about the black community. And honestly, I kind of don't think he cares as much as he likes to lead us to believe. Because I don't think once you get to the way
he probably doesn't care as much because Negroes like you keep turning on him. That's why he probably don't care.
Okay, I guess
does he care about the black
community? But see, here's the thing. Though, like
him and his wife,
you agree.
His wife were literally freeing.
People get to a point.
Crazy
I
to
do
me.
believe that a lot of people.
You try to help your people and they turn on you.
A lot of people get to a point.
He froze up.
Okay.
Where they
That's
get
that
like
Kanye money.
and all of a sudden they think the rules don't apply to them anymore. They think that they're better than everybody else. They think they're better than everybody else. Like I said, dude thinking he about to be out here saving the world with what? Like what?
With his billions of dollars.
This is crazy.
He thought that. Okay, but this is why, Eli, I really feel like
you should listen to him.
You would be a little bit more charitable and a little bit more understanding if you saw the documentary, because he started off like the thing is like he didn't just become that when he got money and rich and famous. He was always that.
Oh, he was always that? Okay.
Yeah, that's something that I don't think a lot of people have. Like a lot of people don't believe in themselves. Just period, point blank.
I mean, I think there's a difference between believing in yourself and then believing like just Never mind.
This
Control.
man
I think
believed.
the new
He
Messiah,
believed
like,
in himself.
The
He-
only,
Kanye-
the only thing that
I
might
think
have
he believes in
changed
himself a little bit,
the
a little
man
bit too
believes he is
much.
God's
But
gift.
I'm just saying, like, yo,
Yes.
Kanye West,
Listen,
found saw Big Sean in like a radio, go into a radio station in like fucking Detroit, and then picked that man up off a freestyle and like helped him boost himself. He had a career before, but boost himself. This man gave his label, the record label he founded, to Pusha T. He was like, you know what, man, like, you deserve this. Gave it to him and moved off. Like, this guy's always in his albums. He's always working with black artists. He's always working with producers, all bringing them on his projects. Anyone who wants to work with him, he brings you on. Like, Kanye is like that dude. Like, there's videos describing how he just hits up people and goes like, he hit up Ninja, like the white South African dude, the rapper. He hit him up and was just like, hey man, you want to come through? And hit him up to chill at his house and just chill with them. Like, Aziz Ansari has stories of going to like Kanye's place just to perform. Like, this guy is like what do you mean, like, not supporting like minority groups or what have you? Like,
I'm
people
talking
in
about
the
the
industry.
black community. Kanye,
He's
Kanye
literally
initially
buying real
framed
estate.
himself as someone like Kanye initially framed himself as someone whose advocacy was like targeted specifically and like almost exclusively towards the black community. And now Kanye is bigger than the black community. Kanye thinks he's a global phenomenon. Like he's Walt
Makes you
Disney.
say that,
He's
though?
I think
Jesus,
he's always been like that.
maybe
But I'm
his
saying, but that
moral-
wasn't who he was, though. I don't think so.
Maybe his morality has changed and involved, and he sees larger than it just being black and white. But that doesn't mean his regard and his efforts to help the black community has
Yeah.
lessened.
I don't see how he, like, I would agree with you if it was true. Like, I don't see how he thinks he's bigger than, like, his goals are bigger than like the black community or something any more than they were in the past, because it seems like most of his efforts are to help black people, almost entirely just black people. Like, what is he doing out there that he's like, I'm giving the Asian community some love, I'm giving like white people in particular some love? He still targets the black community. Like,
He started an academy, and I feel like the academy is like predominantly white.
You feel like, or you
Out
know?
of here.
I'm pretty like I can't remember. I
That's
feel like
not
I've seen what
sure.
you're talking about. No,
That's
I
not
don't
that
have. I don't have a
important.
fact on hand.
Just
Okay,
because
well,
you're part of an
The
institution that is
Yeezy Academy or whatever.
just because you're part of a you participate in an
Donda
institution
Academy.
that
I
is
want to hear
predominantly
from
white.
STB Philly, please.
Oh, so no, I wanted to explore what Bam was saying about you think that he thinks that he's bigger than the black community now. So you mentioned the Donda Academy, which you think is mostly white kids. Okay, I can understand that. But anything else that makes you feel that way, or is it just like a feeling you have, or you know, it's like one of those.
Yeah, I think that like it's definitely based off of feeling. But Kanye West came again. Like I feel like it's weird for someone who came out of the career like making music shaming the concept of like celebrities getting on and getting white girls, and then him becoming that person. Doesn't seem like that's a person with a very strong with strong convictions or like a consistent like belief system. It seems like somebody who's just doing what they feel like at the time.
But he did date black women. He did.
Yeah.
Also, when did he say that was something that he wasn't going to do? Just
Yeah.
because you say that lyric doesn't mean you're not going to do it.
Okay, that's a stretch, Jay. Because Jay, you always be cooking, but that feels like a reach to.
What do
believe that he
you
wasn't
stretches to
shaming that-
say a song like a
to
guy
say
made
that
in
he
like
didn't
2006?
shame- He wasn't shaming
Stretches
this
to say a
concept.
song he made in 2006 has to determine the future of his life. Like, and if he strays from that, you know, like
No,
he's
but
not
I'm-
the same person.
but I'm-
Therefore,
but-
he's deflated. Like,
And you
I'm
can't.
just saying,
you can't-
whenever you believe that he has like convictions that he holds on to that are like his core values, like I'm saying I don't believe in that. I believe that Kanye is whoever Kanye is at that moment. Y'all believe he has these strong core values that like are never are like ever like the same, and that's what I'm saying. I'm challenging that.
No, I said
That-
his values.
it sounds
have
like you're
changed over
saying
time.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're saying that.
No,
You're making
I'm
blanket.
saying that Kanye, there's an old Kanye and new Kanye. It's like, no, Kanye's always been the same. Kanye's always been Kanye. And I'm like, no, Kanye is very much whoever he is in the moment. Kanye doesn't, like, there's no, like, thing he truly believes in forever. Like, I think that, like, even, I think he always liked fashion, but I don't think he originally was like, I want to do fashion. I think he just
he had a
felt like-
fashion brand early on in his career. It was like Pastel or something. He was always somebody that cared about fashion.
Yes, but I'm saying
some of his early music was talking about like fashion brands. Like
I know he put on Ralph. Well, he didn't put on Ralph Lauren, but like as far as like to the black community,
I understand
like,
what you mean.
yeah. But so I'm saying,
Bam, question: are you calling his integrity into? Are you saying his integrity is
fickle?
It's questionable. It's fickle.
Yeah, I think his integrity is fickle.
Okay, why?
This is my opinion based on like the totality of his career. It doesn't seem like there's any long-term thing that Kanye's seeking. Kanye is seeking self-gratification for Kanye. And that's ever changing. That's the only thing that matters to him. Well, that could be anything at any moment.
And I think him,
I don't think that's true.
I think him dating Kim Kardashian, like as shallow as that sounds, but that has a lot to do with how a lot of people are feeling about Kanye West at the moment. Some people do feel betrayed by that, in particular, and that kind of goes with our last conversation, but it can carry over to this.
I don't have a problem with it, but I'm just saying that he it seems as though he used to have a problem with it until he was put in a position.
So what about his religious beliefs?
Why do you believe he wasn't put in the position before? He was famous as fuck. Like, there's definitely people throwing themselves his way. And then, like, on top of that, it's like why, like, why vilify, like, Kim in any way? Like, that's the mother of, like, several of his kids.
I never even mentioned Kim.
She probably a great mother. Like, she seemed like she a great wife.
But I'm saying that Kanye of old would have had an issue with Kanye of new.
Yes,
Kanye a real thing.
Yes, the old you would be like, damn, like you're wiser. I would hope. You're a wiser person.
I just like this way of putting
that's the outside looking in.
I thought that was funny.
That's Kanye on the outside looking in.
Like,
I don't think Kanye
has like certain things that matter a lot to him. That he takes a lot of risks. Like in his last with his last album, he was promoting like DaBaby. He was getting the ire of like pop culture and everything. I think that was a big risk for him. That was a risk for him. And then he also promoted himself taking pictures with what's his name Marilyn Manson and like etc. just to promote like if you guys don't support these people, I'm gonna support them. He said recently that he was not gonna go to a certain show unless Travis Scott was apologized to or what have you. That's him riding
Coachella.
for what it is. Yeah, and so it's like him taking an instance there, taking a risk. What about him like promoting his relationship with Kid Cudi, this tumultuous relationship these two people have? I've been to Kid Cudi concerts where he doesn't refer to Kanye, he refers to like, oh, this guy that I worked for that really like, tried to put me in a box. The way he describes it is like, there's a guy that, wanted me to do a certain thing, make certain vocals, be a certain way, and I wanted to explore my music. And that's how he talks about it at his concerts. Later on, he makes music with Kanye. And then what does everybody in America believe? They're like, I want the old Kid Cudi, back when he just did vocals and he did his thing. Like, it shows, like, I don't know, like, it feels like Kanye, like, from my perspective, it feels like Kanye is pretty consistent with his viewpoints on certain people. He makes kind of, like, interesting judgment calls at time. But, like, to say that the guy doesn't think through his plans, the guy doesn't, like, at all, like, that this guy is just, like, every day is a new Kanye, and that today is an example of that. Like, I don't know. This guy, there's something consistent about people, whether they have some sort of mental illness or not. I think it's crazy to think people with mental illnesses just don't have a consistent thread in their life. I think that's like, it's crazy for me to hear that. Like, I feel like you would know people in your life that have had some sort of like a problem, or they've had some sort of medication for something or what have you, and they've been pretty consistent about a lot of things. And like, even if they've had phases, manic phases or what have you, there's a thread of them that's the same. So it's like, why would you not see that for Kanye?
Because I don't think it applies to Kanye. I think that it's not about mental illness. It's about Kanye and how Kanye exists in this thing, how Kanye has existed. Like the Kanye that says that about George Bush isn't the Kanye that buddies up with Trump. These aren't the same person. These aren't like you say that like, oh, they're just not. I don't believe they're the same person. I believe that's a person with a completely different value set and a completely different like way of thinking.
That's not,
and you just call it growth, but I don't.
But for me, it's like,
are loose
for me,
connections.
it's a weird, like, for me, it's kind of just like, it seems so tied to like Donald Trump. But it's like the representation of Donald Trump at the time was very different. Like prior to like 2016, it was really politicized. There was like a large amount of people on the left viewing Donald Trump a certain way, and then a large amount of
Not left,
people,
but rap culture used to love Donald Trump because Donald Trump
yeah.
was a baller.
But
Like Donald Trump
there's
balled.
there's a growth of beliefs that happened at that period of time, stemming from an earlier time when Donald Trump had ran for office, and like this influenced what these people were saying or what they thought about Donald Trump. Like there's people today that were supporting Donald Trump back then that would say, "Oh, like that was a mistake," and you would look at those people and be like, "They're relatively the same people. I understand why they did that. Perhaps it is what it is." And maybe there's people today that you still support Donald Trump. They were like, yeah, I don't support his actions in 2020, but I think his presidency was good. And I don't think you would be like, I don't want to hang out with these people. They're completely different. They're not the people I knew. So why hold that Kanye to that standard? Why hold Kanye to some like
Because
this
I did.
extra level?
I cut off a lot of people for supporting Trump and
But
people like him.
Kanye West's relationship with Donald Trump is extremely different than any of ours. He had like he could reach him. He could speak to him. Like he helped
Okay.
release him and his wife helped release like people from like commute people sentences and pardon special individuals. Like it's largely seen as his pushing of Donald Trump is what got like Donald Trump to speak to a foreign government to see if ASAP Rocky could be like released, etc. It seemed to be like his emphasis on Donald Trump is what pushed Jared Kushner to have a meeting with like Ice Cube, because it was like, oh look, the black community, there's an avenue here in the black community that the Democrats are ignoring. It's like those actions happen, I think, as like a domino effect of like of Kanye West's relationship with Donald Trump,
This
and
is
that
another way
relationship
where I
we
feel like
don't
you're being
have.
too deep. I think you're
How's
being
it too deep?
because I think that that sounded more calculated. This and I can't prove this. This is just an opinion thing.
I don't think
But
this
I
is why he
believe
did it.
but
I
I
see this
believe
as
that
the
I'm
effect
trying
of what
to
he did.
I believe that Kanye West likes Trump because Donald Trump represents what Kanye wants to be. Trump is powerful, Trump is outspoken, and Trump doesn't give a F about what anyone says. And I think Kanye likes people like that. He likes that's why he always references Steve Jobs, Walt Disney, Ralph Lauren. Like Kanye West loves the concept of powerful people, and he admires them. I don't think he gives a F about politics or the things Trump
And then you
believes
acknowledge he had a personal relationship with him, right? To a
in.
higher extent than
He
we
had a
do.
person.
Like not that they're best friends, that
He had a
they
personal relationship in the way that like have a personal relationship.
Bam, I
with-
think you're taking that analysis. That analysis is a little bit too shallow because he's personally said himself. It's not that they're powerful; it's that they were trendsetters. They were trailblazers. The way they thought was different from their peers.
That's
The
what
fact
that's
that-
what
that's
matters.
I
power.
think
The
that
admirer.
you would like. I think that you like no matter what. Like I don't know. You're like. Do you like Bill Clinton?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you like George W. Bush?
More than Trump, but
But
generally,
no, and yeah. So I imagine if you had a personal relationship with like George W. Bush, where he sat down with you, talked to you, and you experienced him outside of like as like a outside of the relationship most Americans had, you'd have a more nuanced like viewpoint of him,
I've
which
been
would be
canceled about
which
this.
could
I think
which
Don-
could
I
be
think
contradictory to what most people think. It's like sitting down with somebody that has caused some level of harm to a large amount of individuals, but your personal experience with them is they've helped you out a lot. Like I have friends that are problematic people
you preaching to the
that I'm
choir
like,
right now.
yeah, so exactly.
I agree. Like I've said I've been canceled for saying that like Bush is probably a fun person to be around. George Bush is probably like as an individual he's probably an okay guy. But that doesn't justify like a lot of the political decisions he made that has literally led to the deaths of like thousands. I understand that people are nuanced. I live in the South, bro. Like a lot of the people that I'm cool with, a lot of people that I think are like genuinely good people are Republicans or did vote for Trump or like so that's not like that's not where I draw the line on if someone's a good person or not.
Okay, so it's like with that understanding, it's like I imagine you could see the difference between like Donald Trump and Kanye's relationship, to like the relationship maybe I don't know, like I would have with Donald Trump, who if I've never met him and I only experience him as my president, a guy from New York, like a celebrity, etc., versus like somebody that had a more personal relationship who got something from him.
How personal do you believe it was?
Enough that like Donald Trump was willing to like listen to him when it came to the black community. Like
I don't
I don't
think that
know.
matters.
I don't know Donald Trump like
Because
how he
Donald
would
Trump
act,
doesn't
but
know
that
Colin
seems pretty.
Kaepernick. He was willing to listen to Colin Kaepernick. I think that was just Trump knowing that I can get some points
Well,
for this.
the close that we can like, what's not the closest. One of the close things we can get is like when Donald Trump tried to help. He wasn't the reason, but he tried to help ASAP Rocky get out of like a Swedish prison. ASAP Rocky talked about this and how like he doesn't really have that connection to Trump at all. He's not like Kanye. He described that it was weird. He saw on a Swedish TV like Donald Trump there and the talk of his name, and it was a really weird experience for him. He said it was horrible being in prison, even though it seemed like a nicer prison than the ones we have here. But on top of that, he says that like it was weird. He doesn't really have a connection to Trump. It is definitely something that seems kind of political, and he vilified the media because they said that he never said thank you, and that was rude, but he did it in private. He talked about how he thanked Donald Trump because in that instance, it feels terrible to be ignored in prison. And when you're in prison, a lot of your relationships go away. And it felt nice to have somebody care about you. And for someone to do something so gracious, even if it was for a different intention, it still feels good. And then he felt like good about it. And so it's like, that's a guy that seems unapologetically black. Unlike Kanye with Kim Kardashian, it seems like he's with Rihanna, another black person. Seems like he lives a pretty black life. He's also into fashion and in like to a high degree, just like Kanye. And in that instance, he was helped out by Donald Trump, and his relationship with Donald Trump is probably different than the vast majority of like Americans because he had like this instance where he was helped by somebody that otherwise he may have disliked.
I don't disagree with any of that.
Okay, that was it. That was all I was saying is that like his relationship with Donald Trump is different.
Yeah, and I feel like it's kind of it's hard to compare. Like I don't know if you guys are trying to compare Kanye to Donald Trump or say that Donald Trump. I said Donald Trump. Kanye West is now like Monty definitely he said it like because he supported Donald Trump, he's now less than in my eyes. You know. And then, like, maybe Monty.
You lost
he said,
respect to a degree. Did you not? Did you not lose any respect?
Yeah, no, he definitely lost. He lost
respect. He definitely hurt relationships. I just feel like it wasn't a death sentence. Where now he's like everything he does is just like it's he needs to be on his medication.
It was more than that.
He's not thinking about his decisions. He's just a recluse.
It was more than It was
more than that.
It was the time period the media had been portraying a side of Kanye that was very like truthful and negative at that set period of time. It was like seeing this guy have like a live breakdown, but not understanding why, and then seeing it happen. Where it's like this guy's coming off of what like I think it was like an amazing like one of his like last amazing albums, like Life of Pablo and stuff. And it's like you're starting to see like this unraveling of this person of like his concerts, going on rants during his concerts, leaving a concert in a certain way, having certain statements be said. He was going crazy. This guy right before the Life of Pablo drop was going crazy on Twitter, saying like the most exciting thing. And I know all you niggas use Twitter, and we're like probably going like, "Whoa, Kanye said that." And this guy was like doing this live, and we're seeing this person who is a trailblazer go off, and in your mind you're thinking, oh, this is crazy. Like this guy's like, whoa, what's happening with Kanye today? This is just like 6ix9ine. Whoa, this guy's giving us content. And then all of a sudden the other shoe drops, and then we get like the news that he was having like a manic phase, and this guy was going through like all these other problems, and then he starts speaking about it. And he starts telling everybody about like his addiction and things that had happened. And society was telling him, shut the fuck up. They're telling him like, oh my God, Kanye, like, don't say these things. Like, Kanye, like, shut up. You should have listened to the people in his life, he says. We're telling him he shouldn't have done these things, like talking about it. You shouldn't go out and talk to people. And the guy in his mind, You know, he has a very like different mind. He was going out there and telling the whole world what he was thinking. He was like, hey, he went on Joe Rogan and he went on all these platforms and he went on to TMZ and he was telling everybody what it was like to experience that. And I think that was really powerful. That was like somebody who took a lot of risk, took all the brunt of it, and went out there and was like, this is life with this condition as a celebrity. This is what I was experiencing. These are my thoughts. This is what I was going through. And because he did that, we're more normalized to it. And like that's dangerous. Yeah, you can say that's not what you want people to do. You want people to seek help, etc. You want people to do all these things. And Kanye is supporting like a narrative of like speaking about it, telling people. He dropped the album Yay, and he said like, you know, it's my superpower. Like, and he's telling people all these kind of ideas. And because of it, it's like it's normalizing something that should be discussed. Like mental health should be discussed. We shouldn't have Chris Pratt viewed a certain way, and everyone is like, "Oh, he's funny. He's the reliable, funny guy." You know, John Krasinski is this guy. You know, oh, Brad Pitt is always this way. Maybe we want to hear like what's going on in their life. Maybe we want to hear about their problems, so we can understand that even the great people in our society have great problems. Like, you know, and Kanye normalized that. And he took the brunt. When he talked about, oh, he was considering getting, like, an abortion. That shit's terrible. And people, like, talk about that all the time. They're like, oh my god, how could you do that? Like, your daughter's gonna grow up and hear all that shit. That's horrible. And, yeah, it was pretty bad. And then, but the outcome of that is, everybody in society is like, wow, even Kanye went through these moments. Even, like, these people that are rich and have all of this like love that they should be receiving go through these moments. So maybe it's okay for me to feel these things.
Yeah, it's like we
credit again.
No, it's not too much credit. It was all.
Kanye did not start the conversation on abortions.
He did talk. Well, he didn't start the conversation.
He didn't.
But he took part in a conversation of. He was being transparent. We're in an age where people are more transparent about their shortcomings. And then Kanye is talking from a Christian framework, so the shortcoming of abortion is something that truly hurt him. Like aborting his child, like killing his child, was something that severely was against his morality, you know. But he was about to do it, and he was being transparent about it, and that was powerful for a lot of people. Like in that moment, that time frame where people are saying he was so crazy, it was just Kanye being transparent about his perception and his reality, his personal truth. And that's like a lot of the I feel like now, like when we talk about him and we blend into this political discourse, it's like what's often the issue with political discourse everywhere is we invalidate certain talking points, certain perspectives, because they are aligned or adjacent to things that are antagonistic to ours. So it leaves no room for somebody to come out and say things like Kanye would say.
Okay.
Kanye aligned with. Well, yeah, it does. Like a lot of people were telling Kanye to shut up.
Really?
You know.
Yeah. Well, because listen, I've been listening to all this and I've been trying to take it all in, but the bottom line is, Kanye West he's a musical genius and he should stick to music. Like all the other shit he says and all the other stuff he does, while it may create, you know, promotion for his material and all that, like Ben was saying, he doesn't have consistent views, consistent ideologies, or even like well thought out things. Like I don't think Kanye West thinks about these things to a degree of where his opinion should matter. People should take his opinion seriously. He's a musician for a reason. He's not a scholar. He's not in academia. He's not in politics. He's not in any of these things. It's just like
no one has to. No one has to take him seriously, but there's still no
reason. Too many people do, though. Too many people do.
You don't have to. It's like we have this conversation about people having a platform. Should someone have a platform even though they don't know what they're talking about? People can say whatever they want, and they can say whatever they want. That doesn't mean like we don't have to shut them down or shut them up unless they're saying something like.
His words are held to too much of like he makes headlines for saying the dumbest shit or doing the dumbest shit, and he is just like
It
It
sounds like
doesn't matter.
haterade, man.
That's
It
not
sounds like
his
shut up
fault.
and
That's
dribble.
not his fault.
Unless it's his music,
That's
unless
by
it's his
design.
music.
But no,
That-
no, no. But I feel that's unfair because that's not his fault. It's not like he's making his words go viral. It's just that because he is who he is.
That's
when
no,
he
no.
speaks-
There's a fairness in
I,
it.
I know what
He-
you're gonna say.
There is
Like,
a fairness in it.
He's saying something to be controversial, and he knows he's gonna get views.
Yes,
He's
yes,
gonna
that's
get
exactly
clicks,
what I was
he's
gonna say.
Grab attention,
But
but
go to TMZ.
it's
because
not
he
like
just wanted to have
it's
a
all his
conversation.
fault because these media
Yeah.
outlets still themselves have a decision to make. Do we platform him or do we not platform him? It's like the conversation that we're having about Trump all the time on the contemporary news platform, CNN, MSNBC, Fox. Why do we keep talking about Trump? We talk about Trump every single day. He does the same thing. He's a liar. He's a cheater. He's arbitrational. He's all about the arbitration and mediation. He has no moral system. Like, why do we talk about him every single day? Well, these media platforms have the decision to continuously platform him. They're choosing
with
to
Trump.
do
You kind of had to talk about what he was saying because he's the
Okay,
president.
no, you
don't
didn't.
have to talk
exactly. Like, this is an
You don't
artist
have
we're
to talk
talking
about
about,
what-
not the president of the United
So
States.
that's the point. They chose to talk about Kanye. That's
for
the
clicks.
Kanye-
not for any substance or anything meaningful, for clicks.
Well,
I agree. I agree.
I don't think every time Trump spoke it was for substance or for.
Yeah, but they're saying
But
the
you're the
difference
president
as
of the
is
free
that
world.
he's the
That's-
president.
that's a big
There's a
difference.
difference. There's a difference between position, but like I'm the point that I'm trying to push across. I
Yeah.
feel like I'm being Kanye right now. The point I'm trying to push across is these media outlets are making decisions regardless of the position of
man.
the person they're choosing. They have a choice whether to
But
platform
that's
them or
come
not.
on, dude. That's not 100% true. It's because like
What, they can't?
Kanye, no, because like Kanye like will get his word out however he wants. He makes music, so he gets it through he has his own record. He had his own record label.
Yeah, but
and
mainstream
then on top of
media
that,
doesn't have to
but he also has Twitter. Like he's got a lot of his news has come from just posting tweets to like a huge following base. If Kanye wants you to listen to him, he does. He definitely chooses.
Yeah, but I'm
like
trying to make
Philly's
this,
definitely
I'm trying to
right.
make
He
the
definitely
point that
chooses.
the onus of the listener. You don't have to agree with him. You don't have to listen to him.
But it's not
You have-
necessarily about that. It seemed to be about like the idea that Kanye doesn't want that. It just happens. But I
So
feel
then
like
why
the
are- if you
conversation is
don't-
that
if-
Kanye does want that. He wants
if-
people to listen to him.
yeah, he wants
And I
it.
feel
but
like
now
Philly's
let's
statements
talk-
were like he should stick to the things that he's really good at.
I'm
and
just trying
stop
to change the
focusing on that.
framework real quick. I'm trying to change the framework real quick. Like we talked about Kanye putting out his rhetoric. Now let's talk about the person who is receiving the rhetoric. Are they forced to listen and agree? Yes or no?
No, they're not forced to.
No. So why care so much about if you're not forced to listen? Why care whether he speaks or not? Especially if we're talking about Kanye, who's not a Trump. He doesn't hold a
So are
political.
you saying?
We talk
So
about public
you
figures
saying?
that are
Are you
responsible.
saying?
Eli has
Kanye doesn't
Eli
impact
ha-
the fabric of your life.
Eli hasn't had a chance to talk for a while. Go ahead,
Wait.
please.
Okay. Thank you, Prime. So let me see if I got this straight, Azzy. So you're saying that just because someone with a platform says something, that doesn't mean that other people should have to listen to that person.
Did not say
right?
that. I'm saying it's not that you
Okay.
don't. You already have it. It is intrinsic to you that you do not have to listen. I'm not
Right.
saying you shouldn't listen. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you don't have to. Therefore, there is no reason for you to care about it as
Right.
much as there's
Wait,
no
you-
reason.
you-
for you
wait,
to-
wait.
No, because
There's
You're
no
saying-
reason. Let me rephrase it. Let me change the words. There's no reason for you to care so much as to tell him to be quiet.
Wait.
You're just
So
because Philly said he's just a musician. He's a genius at music. He should stick to
okay,
music.
but then this harkens back to what I was saying earlier about
And
how like
every other opinion is not well thought out. Therefore, he should not say it. He shouldn't be vocal about his opinions on other things. He's a genius to this. Stick to this. Why have that opinion if what he's saying has no intrinsic change? It doesn't change the fabric of your life. I can see if it's Trump, where he's the president and everything he
But what's
says.
the-
they've
wait,
described
hold on,
negative
hold on.
consequences.
hold on. So
But I don't feel
trying
like
to
the
see-
negative
I'm trying to
consequences
see
of
if I can-
Kanye's words were that severe. I was just
What don't you get
I'm
with
trying to
as he
see-
said?
I'm trying to see if I follow because I don't know. So you're saying that
It's like when we come on Prime's platform and we get mad at Prime or people like Prime.
It's because
platforming certain people who have controversial or very terrible backgrounds, that we know that.
So you're saying what I think you're saying. So the thing is, the thing is, people who have platforms, and I know this is someone who has a platform that's nowhere near as big as Kanye's. The thing about people who have platforms is that it's up to us to make sure that, like, we take criticism, as it's given to us, and we have to understand that we have influence over those who listen to and watch us, especially in the Black community with the people with celebrities that look like us. Because
I just want to respond real quick. Go ahead, finish.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. That we tend to gravitate towards because they look like us, and because of the fact that we have a history in America of like not getting the chance, get up on stage, not getting the chance of making it big and what have you. The thing is, Kanye, while he is a musician, he still has influence over the Black community because of how big his platform is. So I would like it if he did not say stuff that was kind of stupid. I would like it if he did not say stuff that was kind of stupid and that could lead to harm. If that makes any sense.
I don't know. That's my ADHD. My bad. But yeah, you're saying that because he's saying stupid things, it's affecting your life. This is just one first of many questions.
I mean, potentially, like, so
how is it manifested?
Kanye knows he has mental illness, and
shut up, man.
He does. He knows he's
half the intellectuals in America or in the world who have sway have a mental illness or ADHD. They're on the spectrum. Just because you're on the spectrum, you require medication does not reduce your effects or your meaning, your value.
I want to pose a hypothetical. So let's say Kanye gets up and starts saying something like, "Hey, wearing masks is bullshit. You shouldn't do it. Even though we've got COVID running amok, and even though people are dying." That is something that he said that can affect me as a person. Because then other Black folk, not even just Black folk, other people who listen to Kanye are going to go, "Oh, well, Kanye says I shouldn't wear masks." And we say that, that's pretty stupid, but that's how a lot of people operate. They hear something from someone who they idolize and whose opinion and whose viewpoint that they value and that they see value in, and they will take it and they'll run with it.
So shouldn't it be more effective to change the whole rather than one person?
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Wait.
What I was going to say. Exactly. This
maybe not easier. Easier may not be the right word.
I'm not Kanye though. But I'm not Kanye though.
You severely underestimate your power, especially somebody like.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
I want to hear from Jay.
I'm going to say my
please.
point, Azzy. Thank you. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is if you have a group of people who are listening to one person, wouldn't it be better to have another group of people counter that person so that that group isn't as heavily influenced or hears different opinions?
I mean, you could, but
isn't it better to change a group of people who have in your hypothetical who do listen to Kanye? Isn't it better to change that group than to change Kanye?
I mean, or Kanye could just not say the stupid shit though.
That doesn't make
because here's the thing. I could try to change them, but again, they're gonna look at me like, "Who's this random MF? He's not Kanye." They're gonna look at me. They're gonna go, "Where's your money? Where's your shit at?"
Yeah. So then, wouldn't it be better to have a group of people?
Thank you, Philly. Thank you.
That? Sorry.
Yeah. So he has We have a responsibility.
No. I missed your point. Can you repeat it?
I'm not necessarily saying. Oh, sorry. Who are you talking?
Philly.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, Philly.
I was saying that's where his responsibility comes in because Eli was saying Eli was saying that it's not the people, it's not, you can't change his mind, you can change the people who's listening's mind. So it's his responsibility in that situation to be careful with his words, especially. So my whole point earlier was that like he's good at music. That's what he's good at. That's what he's famous for. That's what people know and love him for. If he wants to venture into politics, I would at least, if I were him, just at least educate myself a little bit with basic things. And it just seems like, I mean, he's an American. He has the right to say whatever the fuck he wants. But people are having a problem with his messaging and just the way he's delivering these messages, because they seem to not be like just fully fleshed out. Like he just just the TMZ thing, for example. Bam said we were misquoting. I think it was something like when you hear about slavery for 400 years, it must be a choice. Now, I mean, we could just pick that statement apart all day on why it's wrong. It's not that just we disagree with them; it's just empirically wrong. And for that to be the news and that to be splashed everywhere it's just very unfortunate, because he could be doing so much better, I guess, in my opinion.
I want to speak to that for like 3 minutes.
If he had put it in a song, would it be okay? If he said stop wearing masks in a song, would it be okay? I mean, no, but would it be more acceptable? Mask off.
Go ahead, Bam.
Yeah, I like for 3 minutes, like just because I thought we would do a little section, but look, we're getting to the end. Like the what he said was for slavery being in change for slavery 400 years sounds like a choice. Now he wasn't saying specifically, like what he said was still wrong, but he wasn't saying that black people like enjoy their situations. He was saying that black people were in a mental capacity that they had accepted their condition. It's saying that we weren't we black people didn't exist in a perpetual state of revolt. There was some percentage of black people who, or actually a large percentage of black people who accepted that this is what life is like right now. This is who we're supposed to be, which kind of goes towards Wickle's reference to new slaves. So what he said, I still think there's a lot of critique to what he said, but what he said wasn't as insane as people made it out to be.
So was Kanye's argument a change your mindset, black folk, to get out of the position that you're in sort of argument?
He's basically saying that you have the power to think differently, just like all these other individuals that he idolizes.
Yeah, like saying vote Republican and all that good. Yeah, we know you have.
I know it's beyond political alignments.
It follows Kanye's ideology of just like be different. That you yourself are like, you are God. Like you yourself are like you're capable of anything. Like you yourself should empower yourself as like very individualistic, and like that you're capable of everything you can do. You have to put your mind to it. It's really like I don't really enjoy it as much, because there's people in situations where they can't change something. So it's someone from a position of like a higher level of wealth telling me that, because they were in a position that was worse than me starting out and they were able to achieve. But at the same time, like I don't know, like what do you want? You want him to like not say that message? Okay. Like
or just not find the most clumsy way possible to say it.
So you didn't like the way he said it. Well, so that's the issue.
I agree. Like the way he said it, it's that the message is so mixed that you can't even latch onto it as that message.
I agree with both of you guys. Like he's a clumsy person. He should have someone who helps him vet out the things that he says.
Yeah,
but it's like from there, it's like, would you agree that he's also like a genius and a trailblazer? Like I feel like that's. Yeah, so then for me, it's like I understand that Kanye says things that are like problematic that he shouldn't say, and that he should like have somebody help him vet out his thoughts if he's not able to have self-control. I think he has a problem with self-control. I think it was talked really well about in the Joe Rogan interview, where like Joe Rogan's kind of amping him up to not take medication, like, oh, society, that's what makes you great. And Joe Rogan's kind of amping him up to continue being like on this kind of track. Yeah, and then like I think that really hearing the response of that was a problematic interview. but I'm a problematic person. I enjoyed it, and hearing the response of that was like, oh wow, this is someone giving someone terrible advice. Kanye. I don't get to hear Kanye's answer. Now I get to hear what he thinks about it, and then you get to see where this guy's mind goes. And the guy really does think that. Like as soon as Joe Rogan coddled him a bit, like you guys are describing, and told him like, yeah, don't do that. Feel this way. You could see that that's what Kanye really wants. He doesn't want to be told what to do. He does think these things. He thinks he's in this cage, and his whole life he's in this cage, and he has these great things he can do. He says, I'm going to run for president, which he ended up doing. He thinks that he's like, I'm somebody that is like capable, and he's constantly told that he's not capable. And for me, I'm like, I see that being problematic in certain lights. In others, it's good. In music, it makes for amazing music. It's less problematic in music, and we get a lot out of it. When he's talking on like Twitter, perhaps it leads to like a lot of retweets that you end up seeing that are kind of problematic. I don't know.
Perhaps.
I agree. I agree with you guys completely on that. The thing I disagree with you on is like I think of him in a way that people view like Donald Glover, where I think that like he does expand beyond just music. Where like I think he does do something for fashion. Eventually, he'll do something for another category. I think that he can. He has this ability to aid whatever industry he decides to step into. But I agree with you when it comes to politics that his politics are like he should be in a background character. He shouldn't be like at the forefront. He'd be a great person on someone's team versus like the guy saying the messages.
I don't think you should be on the team. Like, get a contract, do a performance, and go home, Kanye. Because you don't really care that much. You don't really have these strong. You don't have that strong of opinion. This isn't your lane, and you don't even really want to do this. You just don't like the concept of people telling you no. Which
Okay.
is the own thing.
I think a lot like he's a contrarian at heart. So a lot of his positions come from just being, like you guys are saying, being told no, or being told, like, maybe he pondered with one of his friends, like, Donald Trump isn't such a good guy, and then his friend was probably like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, you can't say that. There's no
He'd
way
be a
you could
vegan if you
possibly.
told him he
And
couldn't
he's
do
like,
it.
no, you know what? I can agree with Donald Trump. I can like Donald Trump. Like, who the fuck are you to tell me I can't? And I think that's a lot that contributes, like Wiggle was saying, to his success in a lot of ways, but also it's very problematic in other ways. Just being a contrarian, just kind of just for the sake of that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And even having a platform, like it kind of going to what Azzy was saying earlier, his question, like the reason I keep bringing up it's not about anyone who has mental health issues. We all, like, everyone deals with mental health issues to a degree, but Kanye, not just once but multiple times, has went on rants, and then at the end of it, like, excused his behaviors and said that, like, oh yeah, I just wasn't okay during that period, like I was doing something, I'm working on myself. That's real. That's that's not the problem that happened. But now that you know that, that's not like, it's not an excuse. You have to make steps to correct this behavior. You have to put in like steps to protect yourself. Like, have a team, have someone that you trust more than yourself, to tell you, like, hey bro, you out of line, give me your phone. Let's not, we're not going to TMZ this week. We staying in the house, chill out somewhere. Don't show up to the Super Bowl with Antonio Brown, who's also kind of out of it, in this black mass thing you done had going on the last 2 months. That's weird, and do whatever you do. I don't know. It's just weird. Somebody needs to, like, he needs somebody, because he ain't got his mama.
that's his
He needs
artist.
somebody to tell him no.
He
That's
has
his
people.
Yeah.
The problem
He
is
has
that he doesn't listen to certain people anymore. Like
He doesn't have people. If he doesn't listen to him, he doesn't have people.
What?
Like,
No.
if you
So
have
the
people,
bigger, the more famous, to your point, but the more famous you get, the harder it is to find people that are going to tell you no, because they don't want to get fired. They don't want to lose their position. They don't want to lose their position next to you. So the more bigger and famous you get, the harder it is to find no men, as opposed to
That's
you're
not.
just going to have yes men all around
Jay-Z
you.
don't even want to
Well,
be
you
around
just
them no more.
you just listen to people who are of the same status as you, like other artists or other billionaires. Like, I feel
Yeah.
that's what. I feel like Kanye is around a circle of people who are like they're the guys who are encouraging each other to go out and do whatever, be whatever, say whatever, because they deem themselves different blazers, artists, creatives. They're the ones who are telling each other, yeah, man, you can do it. You know, that's that manifest. I don't think he's part of the manifest community. I just want to say that. I feel like I don't. I Wiggle said that before. I don't think he's a part of that. But they're the people who say, if you believe you can do it, do it.
No,
I feel like he has that, and I feel like a lot of
like
that circle can be problematic at times because a lot of those people will say no matter what you do, they will not, reprimand you. They're not gonna tell you did wrong. They're
I remember
gonna
they was
say,
talking about
bro,
him.
you did it. You've messed up. It doesn't matter. On to the next one.
I remember they was talking
plenty
about
of
him,
friends
Dave
like,
Chappelle,
they're problematic sometimes.
and Antonio Brown had like a 6-hour conversation. Do you know how insane that conversation had to be? Like an hour of it was interesting,
Listen
but
to
the other
the
5 hours probably was like just off the wall stuff. We need to build spaceships with airplane coordination, and we
Damn,
need to
you
put
heartless,
cheese
bro.
in it.
Stop talking
Like,
about Kanye like that, bro.
I was talking about Antonio Brown right
Man,
there.
I kind of agree with what
Did
Bam
you
is
listen
saying right
to-
now.
did you listen to
that
the Drink
conversation was
Champs?
Probably off the wall.
Did
So-
you listen to the alcohol? What was the podcast he went on where you're supposed to drink as you speak? Kanye wasn't drinking, but everybody else was. But he was just speaking, and he had a whole conversation, and it went very viral, and he said lots of things, and I don't think people. Yeah, he did. They said about like they went into 20 different topics.
I just don't think there was coherent thoughts. I think he just said a lot of things.
Okay. All
Well,
right.
then I
So,
feel like a
I
lot
think-
of people are very.
my bad, we
biased.
can-
I think we got it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we got it.
Yeah. So to my audience, thanks for being here. I hope you've enjoyed this. We're going to on to our one walk on panel right after this. So stick around. There's more content after this. I'm just going to give an outro to all these individuals. Hit that follow button if you haven't done so yet. Make sure notifications are on so you know I'm going live. We do this all the time. Don't want you to miss out. And also hit us up on our social media. Hit us up on Twitter where we tweet. Discord is where we do everything, including the walk-on panel that's going to happen right after this. So if you want to be a part of that, or just the community in general, jump us up walk-on panel. Into the Discord. And then YouTube's where you find the VODs. Like, comment, and subscribe, and consider becoming a YouTube member and supporting us that way by hitting that join button. If you like having those VODs there daily, then support this channel. Help us out that way. All right. I'm going to give an outro to these individuals, but the content does not end. We will have more content right after this. So we'll start with Jay. Jay, thank you for coming through and being a part of this. Much appreciated. Tell a little about yourself.
When I'm not falling off my bike, I stream, and I'm streaming right now. You can follow me at jcooksonata on Twitch and on Twitter. Again, everyone should wear their helmets when they bike because that's really fucking important. Because you never know.
Never know. No, but that's like real. I've seen people go down. It's like not a joke. Wear a helmet. Wear a helmet. Also, like elbow and knee pads, right? Like your elbow slams into something, you'll fucking remember that shit. So, all right. But thank you so much. And again, happy that you're like relatively whole. You're 99.9% whole. So, okay. Next, Black American made. You the center of a lot today. All right. Look, man. Look, I think I was awfully benevolent, right? Letting you stay on the panel after your terrible takes and get Mr. Movie Guy, right? At the beginning of all this shit. So I think I'm a saint, honestly, for putting up with that.
Lando Calrissian.
Holy shit. Bam.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know who he was either. Y'all hating on Bam too much.
Oh wow.
I knew him. I didn't know his name.
This man fly under the radar.
I didn't know his name. Y'all need to leave.
In the name since we was talking about Kanye, in the name of like Kanye and his like random conversations, ask everyone in their outro to rant. Like this came out of completely nowhere. Name your favorite white ally in all of history, and a completely random person. Mine is John Brown. This man kissed a black baby on the way to his news, and he said that God put him on earth to free the slaves, and it's kind of really base. So yeah, John Brown is my top white
You're
ally.
not gonna say Mac Miller, bro. Come on, that's the boy. Like, if he was alive today, rest in peace. I would chilling with him every single day. Like, that's
Okay.
come on. And we gotta think about it, bro. That guy on Euphoria is just completely copying. Fez copies Mac Miller vibe.
It is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
It's like there was twins, but yeah. Also, yeah, follow me on YouTube and Twitter, sometimes Twitch. Yeah, just follow me, Black American Mate. You know my name, and that's it. And this is Tatiana.
Hi,
My
Tatiana.
girlfriend.
Okay. All right. Let's go to Azzy, another person who Azzy, you're a special bird, right? There's no one else like you. You're unique, right? That's what I'm saying. I'm saying you're unique, and I'm happy that you come over here and spend time with us. So, Azzy, tell a little about yourself.
As a resident Kanye of this panel, all right, like I don't fit in, all right. I come in, I show out, I take up space, all right, and I fight stupidity, all right. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do that every single time. I love you. Prime, you're talking about role reversal. I saw a little bit of role reversal today, man. Like this black people who don't know black things. That's crazy, bro. That's real crazy to me. You know, I like keeping people in check, man. It's funny, you get clowned, but I'm telling you, it's if you put that into the atmosphere, it will come back to bite you. I'm telling you, I keep telling people, stop putting their mouth on a man of God. It's gonna come after you, bro. All right. They tried it with Moses. What happened to Miriam and Aaron? What happened to him? They got leprosy. All right. Stop putting your mouth on a man of God. All right. So this is what I have to say. My favorite white ally. Wow, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Matthew McConaughey, man. I love Matthew, man. He does good work, you know.
Isn't he a Republican?
Yeah, if he's an ally at all, I have no idea. But
Matthew McConaughey, ally. I don't care what spectrum of the.
He's from
what part of the
Texas.
spectrum.
Leave him alone. He's from
Like,
Texas.
Come on now,
Never
Matthew
mind,
McConaughey.
never
You're
mind,
really gonna.
Never mind.
This is why we need to stop doing that. Just because you're a Republican don't mean you bad people, bro. Like we said,
I didn't say he was. I just said he was a Republican. You took it there. I don't understand.
What does that have to do with anything?
You got that in your mind. I just said isn't he a Republican? That's all I said.
This is why. Listen, role reversal, bro. Role reversal. That's all I gotta say. You can find me at Azzy on Twitch, Azzy on Twitter. My Twitter has been blowing up because I have been one of the lone anti-Jaeger people. Stop writing Aaron. All right, Aaron is not black. There's a black character in Attack on Titan, and even he has said Aaron needs to stop because if he keeps going, I'm gonna have no home to return to.
At first, I thought he was talking about a sports star.
All
I'm
the
like,
actual
what?
black people will die.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. Come on, Joe. So all these Jaegerists need to chill. So
hey,
I'm all about
pronounce the name of the black character on Attack on Titan.
It's like Oyun Kapan or something, like Oyun Kapan or something like that.
Something like that.
I've never heard him. It's like Oyun Kapan or something like that. I may be butchering it.
No,
but...
it's a tough name to say. I was just wondering if you could do it, honestly. But
did I do it right?
I don't think anyone does it right.
You said like Ray Coupon or some shit like that.
Yeah, like
I just call him Capon. I call him Capon, like Capon. Like
yeah,
Capon,
I would call him
Capon.
Oye. Right, fuck that shit. But like
Oye Capon.
But anyway,
Oye, come and eat your fufu.
Okay.
That's right. He's straight from Africa, man.
He's straight from Africa.
I fight Jaegerists tooth and nail because they need to relax. Demon Slayer is one of the best enemies of all time. People who sleep on Demon Slayer, you are asleep forever. Like, you need to wake up.
You like that because it's all that Christian shit. It's all
that exactly, bro. I like good storytelling. We know exactly why I like Demon Slayer, bro. I don't like vampires. I'm not hanging with vampires no more, bro. Vampires need to be slayed at all times. And right now I'm playing Lost
What is
Ark
this outro?
on Twitch. This Lost Ark is because you didn't give me an intro. That's your fault.
I did give you an intro.
No, you
I
definitely
didn't
did
give
not.
a Black
You
American made
definitely-
an intro.
You definitely
You
cut
had
me
the
off and
longest
went-
fucking
Yeah,
intro, as you literally had the
Y'all better
longest
watch-
goddamn
y'all better-
fucking
y'all
intro.
better watch
So
this
long
thing.
I had to
better
interrupt
watch
you
this
to stop
VOD.
talking, like I
You better
am
watch
now,
this
because you're
VOD.
having the
You mean-
longest
you
fucking
mean-
outro.
You mean my intro to the first topic? I'm talking about intro to the panel.
Oh my god.
Hush, get out of here, Cook. Get out. Chill out, where you ain't gonna do me like that. I'm playing Lost Ark right now in a East. You should follow me if you're playing Lost Ark. You know, we can form a guild. We can go hunting. That is a great game. If you are not playing it, it's free to play. You're missing out. Thank you. Peace and love. Deuces.
I love Jay. She'll give it to you fucking straight. Like, what the fuck?
I was almost
and what
done.
Azzy will do,
Crazy
what
to
Azzy
me.
will do, right?
I was
He will go
almost
on-
done.
No, Azzy will plan to go on for
I was
10.
almost-
No. Listen.
Wiggle talked for like 3 hours, bro. Wiggle is the panel, bro.
Listen,
It's true.
listen.
That is
Listen.
true.
Panel. I
Listen.
ain't never heard
Talking
nobody
right
complain.
That is
Listen,
true.
listen.
Y'all need to
Listen,
That is
hit me
true.
with that,
Wait,
bro.
look.
Hit me with that.
Azzy
No,
will
Y'all don't
plan.
like me
talk.
because I'm the
I'm free.
Kanye, and y'all don't
I'm
like
free.
Kanye. That's what
Alright?
y'all like, bro.
Azzy,
I
I'm free.
see the dynamics.
And y'all
I
were
see
in
the
my
dynamics.
chapel. Y'all were in my chapel when I preached.
Exactly.
You talked.
Wiggle was out here talking like Donald Glover, and y'all loved it. And
Azzy,
then
look.
when I started
Alright.
being a little Kanye-ish,
Dude, it's
can't take-
homiletic.
Here's the thing with
Homiletic,
Azzy.
bro.
Here's the thing with Azzy. Azzy will plan to talk for 10 minutes, but if you interrupt him at 9 minutes and 45 seconds, I didn't get a chance to finish. I didn't get a chance. How could you? I didn't give
You all
Jay
do that.
anything.
You all
Like,
do
you
that.
never let me talk.
You do that all the time. Y'all some hypocrites, bro. I'm out of here, bro. I'm out of here. Yo, do some. I know where to go, bro. I know where to. Yo, listen, y'all say love, y'all. I'm a
Bye.
I'm pretty face. I'm
Bye.
pretty face,
Bye.
and I'm here for comedic. I'm here for the comedy. I know my role. I'm just breaking the mold like Kanye. Right?
We love you, Azzy. I always say I love you, right? And I mean it. I mean it every time. All right, my brother. All right, let's go to Eli. Eli, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's a blast as always. I don't think we needed BGSU Bandit for like the Kanye standing. Wiggle was like the entire time just and Bam too. Like y'all were just like the majority of the time, but Wiggle was the MVP of Kanye's team. No offense to Wiggle, all in love. Yeah, my
How's
name is
that
Nahila
offensive?
Monty. Huh?
How's that offensive?
Oh,
I'm on the winning
saying.
team. Like, bro,
Anyways,
like there's no MVP for the losing team. I'm just saying, bro. I'm finals MVP, bro.
Anyways, yeah, my name is Nahila Monty. I do a lot of progressivism and gaming type shit on Twitch and YouTube and unfortunately TikTok. Yeah, Nahila Monty on basically everything. Like literally just just look me up on like any platform you want to like find me on. I'm there. Just go find me. A few couple things about me. My favorite superhero is Superman. My favorite Nintendo character is Princess Peach. Right? Based as fuck. Anyways, I've been playing a lot of gaming as this stream was going on. I'm also like waiting with bated breath for like a good Digimon game, because let's be honest, we haven't had one. Yeah, you can. I'm not gonna speak for like an entire 10 minutes with an outro.
You'll just
so-
trail off awkwardly like you usually do.
Let's-
Thank you.
just-
All right, so let's go to
Wow, okay. Prime's roasts are immaculate, y'all. Immaculate.
Next, we'll go to STV Philly. Thank you for coming here. We didn't really get a proper intro, so like let people know all about yourself.
Yes, I'm STV Philly. STV could stand for Stop the Violence. It could stand for See the Vision, Share the Voice. I gotta think of some other acronyms that it could stand for. But yeah, basically on my YouTube channel, I talk about gang violence. I talk about the violence that's going on in America, but mostly in Philadelphia, in and around the Philadelphia area, because it's such a huge issue. That's my YouTube content. My Twitch content is going to be a little bit more like this, a little bit more political based, a little bit more conversational based. Want to broaden my horizons and broaden my spectrum out a little bit, and not focus so much on what my YouTube is focused on. So yeah, look out for my streaming schedule, and yeah, that's basically it. Oh yeah, and I wanted to apologize for everybody, to everybody, for being late. Parking in South Philly is atrocious, and you can literally drive around for easily 20-25 minutes, a half hour looking for a parking spot. So that was my problem tonight, and I do apologize. And thank you for having me, Prime. I saw you falling asleep there at the end.
I wasn't falling. I never fall asleep. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, I was just looking at my phone, dude. I never fall asleep. But
The
anyway,
phone inside your eyelids.
my phone. You guys know. Seriously, this is like a thing that people don't seem to understand. My phone is right here. This is me looking at my phone. People don't seem to. My eyes apparently look like it's closed all the time, but this is me looking at my phone right here. You can see that, right? And
Yes.
people think I'm falling asleep. It's every single time. It's really fucking annoying. But anyway.
Oh no,
thank you.
I was just gonna say, just if I don't talk to you again soon, just take care of yourself, man. Make sure you get enough sleep. I know this is a grind, the streaming and stuff, man. Especially as much as you stream. And that's all I was gonna say. I didn't. No offense. But
Thank you
yeah,
so-
so that's it. That's it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
all
don't
right.
die early, man. We still gotta get you into heaven, all right?
Let's go to Wiggle. Wiggle.
Yeah,
close this out.
I think Monty said it best. Like, I am the MVP. Like, I came in here strong. And,
I said of
I
Kanye's
leave-
team, okay?
I
Of
leave-
Kanye, there was more to that title.
Yeah, and there's always more to the titles that Wiggle gets. Right? There's always more, all right? Because you know what? When I step on that battlefield and I leave, I'm unscathed, and I won. I came in here and I showed the sword to Prime, to Bam, even Jay tried to get that shit, Monty, and then, I was riding that horse to victory, and you saw Azzy behind me. He was like, I see the winner. Wiggle, where are we going? And I took him behind me. Yeah, giddy up. And then Philly was like, we had a conversation. We stopped by a campfire for a moment. I had a talk. He's like, you know what? You're not worth clashing blades with. We can agree. And Wiggle rode to victory with Azzy at his back. All right, and that's the story of this panel. The story of this panel is a bunch of people that tried to come on the other side of me and left scarred and wounded, left on the ground. I engaged with them, and I left sparkling, dazzling, and all of
The
you guys
Wiggle
left.
gang?
All of you guys left a little worse. I am the reason why you shouldn't platform people, because it hurts yourself. It hurts yourself. You shouldn't platform me because y'all look worse. Y'all
Y'all
look
look
worse.
like Candace Owens out here. That was crazy, bro.
Thank you.
Wait,
I'm
what?
not-
Y'all look crazy.
Okay. If that's Azzy's take, I think I'll take my chances with how I might look after this.
It was like Candace talking to T.I. Like y'all was looking
I think
crazy,
I
man.
think I'm all right. I think I'm all right. My shield's still intact, so I think I'm good.
Bro, how you live in America but not hear like college dropout, graduation? Like, no, you just like, I'm not gonna listen to it. I'm not gonna give 40 minutes to Kanye's discography.
Oh,
Like, I'm
boy.
not gonna give him
We don't have
40
to do
minutes.
any more. We don't have to give any more minutes to Kanye right now. Oh shit!
We
All
really
right.
don't.
Thank you for that. Oh boy.
You listen to 6ix9ine.
I don't.
Oh yeah, somebody in chat was asking real quick. My white ally, it would be the lawyers for the Scottsboro 9. That's it.
Mine would
Mac
be
Miller.
Eminem.
Mac
That's
Miller.
Or Mr. Rogers.
Mine
One
would.
of the two.
Mr.
Mr.
Rogers.
Rogers. Yeah, Mr.
Mr.
Rogers.
Rogers,
Mr.
yes,
Rogers.
yes.
Mr. fucking Rogers.
Mr. Rogers is a
quick.
Quaker. Or was a Quaker, and Quakers are pretty amazing. Put that out there, right? Quaker Christians, they're pretty amazing. But all right, so thanks so much, everyone, for being here, for coming through. We are going to continue with our open walk on panel right after this. So anyone here who wants to join us would be very much welcome. But if not, that's okay. Thanks for spending your time, your energy, your knowledge, and your passion with my community. I know they appreciate it just as much as I do. Have a good one. Bye.